stretch of the imagination. In what way would you not want to play in Indiana? The place where you're getting sold out arenas, the most viewership on television, playing with a player who was top 3 in MVP voting as a rookie, who clearly elevates her teammates around her. She scores a lot, but she is also dishing out the ball, able to elevate everyone around her. Why wouldn't you want to be in that system? Because of the
3 WNBA MVPs in your career, would you consider each of those 3 seasons as dominant seasons for yourself?
No.
I can't. Bro, Sheryl Swoopes is willing to lie about her own career before she even...
The WNBA free agency period is in full swing. And despite what some critics claim, Indiana Fever is quickly becoming the top destination for players. While legends like Sheryl Swoopes attempt to downplay Caitlin Clark's dominance, reality paints a different picture. Today we'll break down how Swoopes is failing to dismiss Clark's impact while players flock to Indiana. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to NBA Showdown and hit that notification bell for more NBA and WNBA updates. Rachel DeMita immediately shuts down the absurd claim that players don't want to sign with Indiana Fever. It doesn't take an expert to see that this idea has no basis in reality. Indiana Fever is one of the most exciting teams in the league, with packed arenas, massive television ratings, and a generational player in Caitlin Clark. The idea that free agents are avoiding Indiana simply doesn't hold up when you look at how the market is playing out. The WNBA has never seen a player quite like Caitlin Clark in terms of media attention and fan engagement. Her presence alone has revitalized the Fever, and players are taking notice. DeMita highlights that any claims about Indiana being an undesirable destination are completely unfounded. Instead, Indiana Fever is proving to be a top choice for players who want to be part of something special. Sheryl Swoopes and others trying to push this false narrative are being exposed by the actual choices free agents are making. If Indiana was such an unappealing option, then why are players actively signing there? The numbers don't lie. Indiana Fever is one of the hottest teams in the league right now, and the free agency moves are proving it.
Indiana Fever are that golden destination, and I can't help but laugh to the fans and the people online and the media commentators, unfortunately, who said that nobody wanted to play in Indiana. That doesn't make any sense.
Sheryl Swoopes attempts to cast doubt on Indiana Fever's stability by claiming that a lot of other stuff is going on within the organization that fans don't know about. She suggests that some players are hesitant to join because of these undisclosed issues. However, this statement is incredibly vague and lacks any real evidence to support it. Every team in professional sports has internal challenges, but that doesn't mean players are avoiding them. If there were serious concerns about Indiana Fever, it would be reflected in free agency decisions. Instead, we're seeing the opposite. Players are choosing Indiana despite Swoopes' claims. Her statement seems like an attempt to undermine the growing influence of Caitlin Clark rather than an honest assessment of the team's situation. Additionally, Swoopes' argument contradicts itself. If Indiana Fever had such severe problems, why would players like Sydney Colson and others be signing with the team? Swoopes is trying to create doubt where there is none. But the reality of Indiana's rising popularity and growing roster strength completely debunks her argument.
There's a lot of other shit going on that players are like, this ain't where I want to be.
Over there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Some new shit
like
going
it's
on around there.
It's a lot. Yeah. So you have players that are very significant on this Indiana Fever team that are like, I don't.
A commentator humorously suggests that Indiana Fever had to resort to job sites like Indeed.com to recruit free agents. But the reality is much different. Free agents are willingly signing with the team, and Sheryl Swoopes is nowhere to be found when it comes to backing up her claims with real proof. If Indiana Fever was such a problematic organization, free agents would be avoiding it. But that's not what's happening. Instead, we see players actively seeking out the opportunity to join the Fever. Sydney Colson's decision is a perfect example. She mentioned that she was eager to team up with Kelsey Mitchell, a player Swoopes previously dismissed. Additionally, she heard positive things about Caitlin Clark and wanted to be part of that environment. At the end of the day, Indiana Fever is thriving despite the narratives being pushed by Swoopes. The team's growing appeal is undeniable, and the free agency moves prove it. No matter how much critics try to downplay Caitlin Clark's influence, the reality is clear. Indiana Fever is becoming one of the premier destinations in the WNBA.
Stephanie White came in and said, okay, hold up. Let me go to Indeed.com and Indeed get some free agents to come in here that want to play, that are accomplished, seasoned veterans. She did all that. Cheryl's been nowhere to been found. Sheryl got a lot of crow to eat, folks. Sheryl could be choking on crow right now. She need that Heimlich maneuver. If you see Sheryl Swoopes, tell her it's okay to come out and talk and say.
Sydney Colson's decision to sign with Indiana Fever directly contradicts Sheryl Swoopes' claims. Colson revealed that one of the main reasons she joined the team was Kelsey Mitchell, another player whom Swoopes had previously dismissed. This proves that Mitchell's presence, along with the team's growing reputation, is attracting talent rather than pushing it away. Colson also mentioned that she had heard great things about Caitlin Clark, reinforcing the fact that Clark is a magnet for talent. Free agents want to play alongside a player who elevates the game and brings national attention to the league. Swoopes' attempts to downplay Clark's influence are being dismantled by the actions of players making career moves based on her presence. If Swoopes' claims about Indiana being an undesirable destination were true, Colson and other free agents would have steered clear. Instead, she made the Fever her preferred choice, proving that the team is becoming a powerhouse under Caitlin Clark's leadership. Swoopes' words don't match reality, and every free agent signing further discredits her position.
Yeah, I talked to Sydney Colson today. She said that Kelsey Mitchell was actually the first person she hit up because they built a bond here, playing AU for the last 3 years. She said she heard some good things about Caitlin Clark from her Aces teammate Kate Martin as well.
Rachel Demita further shuts down the false claims against Indiana Fever by pointing out the facts. The team is selling out arenas, dominating television viewership, and attracting players who want to be part of something historic. The idea that Indiana isn't a desirable location completely ignores the evidence right in front of us. The Fever, led by Caitlin Clark, is bringing more attention to the WNBA than ever before. Clark was among the top 3 in MVP voting, proving that she's not just a marketable figure, she's an elite basketball player. Free agents recognize this and want to be part of a team that is not only successful, but also highly visible. Sheryl Swoopes' attempt to dismiss Indiana as a prime destination doesn't hold up against the numbers. Players are coming in, ratings are climbing, and the Fever is positioning itself as a premier WNBA team. No matter how much critics try to discredit the impact of Caitlin Clark, the proof is in the league's growing interest and Indiana Fever's rising dominance.
Stretch of the imagination. In what way would you not want to play in Indiana? The place where you're getting sold out arenas, the most viewership on television, playing with a player who was top 3 in MVP voting as a rookie, who clearly elevates her teammates around her. She scores a lot, but she is also dishing out the ball, able to elevate everyone around her. Why wouldn't you want to be in that system? Because of
One of the most telling moments in this debate is when a commentator notes that Sheryl Swoopes would rather rewrite her own career history than acknowledge Caitlin Clark's dominance in the WNBA. This speaks volumes about Swoopes' unwillingness to accept the shift happening in the league. Swoopes is attempting to diminish Clark's influence because she knows that Clark represents a new era, one that is making the WNBA more competitive, more financially viable, and more popular than ever before. Instead of embracing this change, Swoopes is clinging to outdated narratives that are collapsing in real time. The reality is simple. Caitlin Clark is transforming the WNBA, and players are choosing Indiana because they see an opportunity to be part of something bigger. Swoopes' attempts to downplay this movement only highlight her inability to accept what's happening right in front of her. The future of the WNBA is being rewritten, and Caitlin Clark is at the center of it.
3 WNBA MVPs in your career. Would you consider each of those 3 seasons as dominant seasons for yourself?
No.
I can't. Bro, Sheryl Swoopes is willing to lie about her own career before she even...
If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to NBA Showdown, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update on the latest NBA and WNBA news. What are your thoughts on Sheryl Swoopes' comments? Let us know in the comments below.